Hi guys, my name is Jason Chen and welcome to my YouTube channel, What I'm Reading. If you clicked on this video based off the title, you're probably thinking, hey, wait a minute, I thought this video channel was like a book review channel. This doesn't sound like it's going to be a book review, and it's not going to be a book review. You know, I predicted this a bit when I made this video, this YouTube channel. I expected it to transform a little bit just because my nature is whenever I start a project, the project becomes very different at the end than what it was in the beginning. And I'm starting to see that maybe I didn't want to make a book review channel in the first place, although I did want to make a channel about what I'm reading. So, this is to go off what this channel has been about, though, to continue and not make this video a complete departure. This video is still about what I'm reading, and the future videos will be about what I'm reading for sure. Just to maintain a certain consistency in theme between this video and the videos of the past, I'm going to share what I am reading. So, I just finished Cowboy Graves, Roberto Bolano. Roberto Bolano is a man with many fanboys in the American literary community, specifically amongst, I have to say, amongst the male American literary community. I don't know a lot of girls who read this. I think there's a good reason for that. I'm actually not going to make a review of this today, although it's related to what I want to say. I find it quite pornographic. I think that's why a lot of American males interested in literature are drawn to Roberto Bolano. Do I want to explain that more? I do want to eventually. I want to eventually make a review of this. I'll just say enough to get a point across. It's not pornographic because there's like lewd sex scenes. Although, there are sex scenes in here. They're not very lewd, though. He just says, oh, that woman and I made love. And then he goes on with the story. It's more pornographic because, you know, it's like spiritually pornographic. It doesn't get you off with images of like breasts or anything like that. It gets you off on this very deep existential level. Because a lot of these stories are about writers. And it fulfills a lot of male fantasies, especially amongst guys who like to read, because, I keep tossing this back and forth. I hope that's not distracting. I'll try to keep it in one place. It fulfills your fantasies of what it'd be like to be a writer without telling stories that tell you the truth about being a writer. So, this book is 3 novellas, and they're all about writers. And their lives seem to be, I don't know, not realistic. These writers don't put a lot of effort into writing. They make it look easy. They make it seem like all you do when you write is just walk around town, drink orange juice, eat donuts, look at people. And then magically you get phone calls telling you that the world needs you to be a writer. And also, women come to you quite effortlessly when you're a writer. And none of that's true. Anyone who's been a writer would know that being a writer, it's very hard to get girls because when you're a writer, you work on hard things like love and death and God, and experientially, whenever you want to bring those up, people don't want to talk to you. But you're a writer, so you want to talk about those things all the time, so it's hard to make friends, and it's hard to even connect with females, because females are people, and most people don't want to talk about that stuff. And being a writer is quite suffocating and irritating, and he masks all of that and gives you this fantasy that being a writer is very easy and that you get laid being a writer very easily, and you don't have any of that existential angst that real writers have. None of that, I'm searching for a spiritual father. No, the characters in here just magically get spiritual fathers. The second novella just magically gives the poet a man who mentors him, you know. A lot of this book, gosh, I guess I have given a review. A lot of this book lies to you. It lies pleasantly. And that's what real porn is. It's not images of breasts. It's lies that get you off. It's pornographic. Not to say it's bad. I actually quite enjoyed reading it because I'm an American male who's literarily oriented. When I was reading it, I was like, oh man, this fulfills all my fantasies. So it's good, I guess. But be warned, it's very pornographic. Gosh, do I need to make a review of this anymore? Maybe I still will out of decorum. But I don't know, that's already the point. You might hear sirens. Sirens coming out from my window. Once again, I live in a very noisy part of Brooklyn. And what's more, did I mention this yet? I'm not sure. My window is broken, like someone smashed it, because it's a very chaotic part of Brooklyn. So, what can I say? There's extra ambiance in this video. I refuse to create an artificial environment for myself where I can speak without any outdoor noise. You know, I'm a disciple of the French New Wave cinematic artists. Is that pretentious of me to say? Because I'm just making a YouTube channel. But sincerely, I believe in like that cinema verite style they make, where, you know, if you're recording something in a chaotic environment, all the better. You're gonna get reality, because reality's chaos. Record in the streets. Don't record in a studio. Don't use artificial lighting. Just use whatever lighting's available. Whatever's already there is already good enough for you to make a movie. So go ahead, make your Breathless, make your 400 blows. So pretentiously, based off my reading of all this French cinematic theory, I refuse to artificialize my recording. Wow, it's already 7 minutes in, and I haven't even started talking about what I actually wanted to talk about today. That's cool. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a lot of energy today, and I think it's just, gosh, just because I'm having a good day, and nothing really happened today for it to be good. Happiness came to me. And I suppose it's related to the main point, which I can finally introduce now. So this video is about why you should quit pornography. Oh, the other thing I'm reading is Jacques Lacan, Écrit. I got Écrit, I suppose you might say if you're trying to speak French. So I read an essay / lecture in this book today, and together reading these two books really got me thinking about this topic that I normally think about quite often. It's just that I was prompted to think more about this topic lately because of these two books. Once again, this channel is about what I'm reading. Maybe I'll bring this book up again if it becomes relevant to the point I'm trying to get across. Friends of mine probably all know that I quit pornography, gosh, the spring break, around the spring break of my year in grad school at University of Chicago. When was that? Oh my gosh. So, March or April of 2019. So it's been about 2 years since that event in my life. And you can find plenty of videos that say the same message. The message that goes like, oh, I quit porn to help my life, you should do that too. I would like to offer something slightly different. I would like to offer a more philosophical, logos-oriented understanding of this issue, Because some people, that doesn't convince them. They're not convinced when they hear personal testimonies to change their lives. I know because quitting pornography unequivocally improved my life, and even though I shared that testimony with people, didn't convince them to do it, you know, everyone gets convinced in different ways, and I understand that. So to further this cause of self-improvement, to get more people to hear the message, I'd like to convey a more philosophical approach to why I should quit pornography. My understanding isn't necessarily like a moral stance in the commonly understood form of the moral. It's not like I'd say that you're a bad person, you should be ashamed of yourself for watching pornography. Absolutely not. Well, it's complicated, isn't it? You probably do feel ashamed regardless when you watch pornography. Probably deep down part of you just knows that it's bad for you. Almost all people have that conscience telling them that truth. But I'd like to frame my explanation in terms of the fact that you deep down want to quit pornography because you want to be happy, and pornography doesn't make you happy. And everyone deep down wants to be happy, and you will be happier if you quit it. There's no doubt about it. Although I do think that, maybe I'll make another video about this later. I do think that doing the moral thing and doing the thing that makes you happy really deep down are the same thing, even though it's not apparent to most people. I deep down believe that's true. Spinoza says so. Doing the good thing for him is just doing the thing you deep down want to do. That's my understanding of one of the key points of Spinoza. So I was reading this essay from, what the hell do I call it? From Ecrit. Is the T silent? I don't know. How the heck do you pronounce French? I was reading this essay that most people who know about Lacan know. It's about the mirror stage. What's it called? It's something the mirror stage and the formation of the I and the subconscious. Is that how the title goes? The mirror stage as formative of the I function, as revealed in psychoanalytic experience. Gosh, pretentious. Well, it's a pretentiously titled essay that has a really significant point. I don't understand it at a masterful PhD level, but I to some degree understand the gist enough for me to feel confident that I can make strong points today to convince you that porn is bad. It's about how the mirror stage essay / lecture by Lacan is about how we rely too much on what we see to help us on the quest for happiness, and that's stupid. Duh, you shouldn't do that, because perception always leads to misrecognition, which traps you in the neuroses symptomatic of false understandings of the I function. Duh. I think that's what a Lacanian would say. Alright, here's the thing. We all want to be happy. Happiness often involves finding someone you love. Do I have to cite that? Gosh, if I had to like give you a source for that, I'd just be like, what has the world come to? We all want to be happy. Happiness has to do with finding someone you love. Most of us would agree. Tricky thing about life is it's hard to know what we want in the person we love. Gosh, that's really hard. If it were easy, everyone would be happily married. Most people are miserably married. There is some wisdom required in getting to that end point we really want, finding someone you love. The thing about porn is that it takes in the wrong direction. So there are so many qualities that are necessary in this person you are going to choose to spend the rest of your life with. And these are going to both be visual qualities and non-visual qualities. No one wants to marry someone who's ugly. Let's all agree on that. Even the deepest wise man would be lying if he said, oh, looks don't matter to me. Come on. Gosh, I'm not even sure if Confucius would have said that. He probably would have said, no. I'm a tits man myself. Probably. So there's a visual aspect of finding someone you love. You want someone you're attracted to. But there is also that aspect that people write beautiful poetry about. You know, you want a person to marry who is virtuous, loyal, caring, patient, filial to their parents, probably, because that's an indication of a good person, that you care for your parents. You want these things too. In fact, this is probably what you really want. This is probably the deeper thing you want. Someone who has the same values that you do. Someone who agrees with you on what the deepest missions of life are, you know? If you want to make the world a more spiritual place, you probably want a girl or a boy or the person you're going to marry, you probably want that person you're going to marry to also want to make the world a more spiritual place. If you think the world should have better restaurants, you know, Michelin star restaurants that are accessible to the poor, you probably want a person you love to want this thing as well. You know, if you want to improve the world's philosophy, you want a person to marry who also wants to improve the world's philosophy. If you want to shine a light in the dismal world of contemporary cinema, you want a person whom you are going to marry who also wants to shine a light in the dismal world of contemporary cinema. That's what you really want, right? Those are the deepest things you want. Someone who shares your mission and shares your values. And those are the things probably that turn you on the most deeply. And it's not to say that you can date someone, marry someone who's, gosh, I'm going to sound so shallow. I hope not. You know what? No, I'm not being shallow. I shouldn't doubt my ideas. No, I really believe in the validity of my ideas, and I also believe the fact that if my ideas are put out there, propagated, the world will be improved. Okay, so you can't just date someone you think is ugly just because they share these things. But, you know, I really don't believe that is an issue we need to worry about. I I would say that what's going on in life is someone's visual attraction to you is just an exterior that promises the interior you are really looking for. My belief, not even my belief, but my perspective of the world, which I strongly believe in, is that attractiveness is an indication, a signal that the person deep down you're attracted to has what you're looking for. I think you have a type, a physical type. You have that physical type because those physical attributes you're interested in indicate that that person with those physical traits is spiritually attractive to you. You know, like some guys like girls with glasses. What they really like, that the glasses are an indication of, is that they like girls with intelligence. Some girls like guys who are muscular. What they really like is a guy who works hard. Because usually when a guy works hard, they exhaust their bodies to the maximum because they're doing everything they can to improve the state of the world, the state around them. And when you just push yourself to the limit, usually you become fitter, stronger. You know, you're carrying bags for old ladies, you're building homeless shelters on the weekend. You just do things that make you stronger. I hope the idea I want to communicate has been successfully communicated so far. So, when you find someone visually attractive in a natural world where humans haven't created artificial signifiers of beauty, visual attraction indicators would actually just lead you to what you really want. People who share your mission, your values, your purpose. Now the point, the problem, not the point. The point. There's the point and the problem. So the point is you should quit porn. That's the point. If you want to finish with the video, if you're convinced by now, just finish. Ew, I said finish. That's weird. I don't. Okay. But if you want to keep going, we can keep going. The problem with society is that we have created artificial ways to indicate beauty. Girls, instead of having to cultivate that sort of heart that eventually blossoms into physical attractiveness, girls can do things like put on makeup, dye their hair, exaggerate their attractive features in all sorts of ways. I know girls probably have a million ways they can do that. Guys, instead of working hard at life, they can artificially recreate the look of working hard by going to the gym a lot. So the problem with society is that originally physical beauty was supposed to be an indicator of spiritual beauty. And most poets from the medieval era and from most poetically flourishing eras, they would agree that this beauty is really just the surface of this deeper beauty. However, in modern society, we mislead ourselves by focusing on the exterior beauty and recreating the exterior beauty and forgetting that it should be an indicator of interior beauty. So porn. I think the point has already become a little more clear. So you want two things. You want exterior beauty and interior beauty. Porn confuses you because it gives you women or men or people of exterior beauty, a very shallow exterior beauty, and it makes you forget that is supposed to be a signification of interior beauty. You know, porn turns you on in the wrong way. Really, 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 you will be turned on most deeply when you meet someone. Oh, okay. My screen my screensaver turned on because I hadn't touched my computer in a long time, but I'm back, so that's why I was like, what? Okay, so really, 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 you are turned on most deeply by someone whom you find interiorly beautiful. Uh, I think physically that is, or I shouldn't say I think, physically that is true. One of the people who turned me on physically most deeply was this girl I met who just loved philosophy, and we just talked so much all night that I really wanted to be with her, like Adam and Eve, you know. But pornography is merely visual stimulation. And you get so visually stimulated that you just forget that visual stimulation should lead you to a more deeper spiritual stimulation. Of course, porn can't stimulate you spiritually. That's not what it's for. It's for a very shallow level gratification, which ultimately, no matter how pleased you feel, no matter how pleased you feel when watching porn, ultimately it makes you very, 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 very unhappy. You know this. I promise you that you know this if you're honest with yourself. Porn makes you very unhappy because it makes you focus on exterior beauty versus interior beauty, which is what you're really looking for. It's related to Lacan. He talks about how we have this misidentification with the image we see in the mirror. So we get obsessed with image, because the mirror gives you an image of yourself, when really you have to be somehow cultivated to identify with the word. What does that mean? Well, that's very philosophically whoa, we'd have to really have 10 hours of lecture to get there. But you should focus on finding a person you enjoy talking to. If you want to be happy and in love. But you're not going to get there if you keep watching porn, because you're going to get so used to being visually stimulated that you're going to forget that you ever wanted a deeper stimulation, and you're not going to look for that deeper stimulation. You're just going to look for that artifice of exterior stimulations. Quit watching porn. For Christ's sakes, I'm probably going to make more videos about this because this is something I think about quite often. For both the reason that I experientially have found out that it improved my life, and also for the fact that this issue of porn relates to deeper issues I think about all the time in relation to American society. I'm very interested in Lacan because he talks about the relationship between the image and the word. And you do understand the image and the word, but they do have this they have all this philosophical, metaphysical baggage added to them. So maybe I'll talk more about the image and the word and what they mean philosophically later. But for now, for Christ's sakes, quit porn. Oh my gosh. You'll be happier, I promise. It's not even I have to promise. You know. Look for someone you love. And that doesn't mean you have to look for someone ugly. Just find someone you're genuinely attracted to. When you're genuinely attracted to someone, they will both physically and spiritually attract you, and that will be a natural reaction to you. That will be a natural reaction you have, as long as you quit porn. Because when you quit porn, you will start to remember a deeper part of you that wants both that physical, visual gratification and that more spiritual, deeper, purposeful gratification. They're not opposed. They're not. They're not. You don't have to worry. If you look for someone who's like righteous and patient and kind, you're not going to get someone ugly. I promise. That's what I'm reading. Have a good day.